Good morning, everyone. This is Mike Berger again with NC Planning. I'm bringing you another Daily Counsel update. If you're following us on YouTube, please be sure to give us a like and a subscribe and share that channel with your friends. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those in the comments section on YouTube. We'll try to get to those in a future video. I wanted to hop on quickly and bring an update with regard to the PPP loans that we've been discussing over the past weeks. We've had a number of calls from business owners this week, actually, asking about some recent updated FAQs that came out from the SBA via the U.S. Treasury website. It's come through a different channel for each person I've talked to. Some have gotten generic type of notifications from their lender. Others have discussed it in passing, and others have seen reporting on it. And we delved in at NC Planning to do a little bit of the research and bring update with the language directly from the source. What this involves is the borrower certification when you go to apply for a PPP loan, that the funds are necessary to support the business activity, the operations of the business. To recap, the PPP loan, Paycheck Protection Program loan, was designed basically to get relief amidst COVID-19 to business owners so that business owners could then in turn fund their payroll and get their staff, their team, their workers paid. And that's what it is being used for by and large, based on the folks that I talk to, by the way. Folks that we talk to, they're very, very careful. They're very meticulous with calculating how much they needed with the loan amount, 2.5 times payroll in compliance with the statute. And then everyone's intent is to use this money to get it into the hands of their employees. At least that's my experience in talking with folks. There has been some concern, though, raised with language, again, coming out in some generic notices that folks have received from their lenders about this certification that borrowers are required to give. So at the time of loan application, if you are a business owner and you are seeking a PPP loan, you're required to certify, and I'm going to quote here from the SBA, that the funds are necessary, basically that you are applying for the loan to obtain proceeds, the proceeds of which are necessary under certification that, quote, current economic uncertainty makes this loan request necessary to support the ongoing operations of the applicant. And so generally speaking, what that's saying is that the business owner as the applicant is making a good faith certification that the funds, the proceeds they're applying for from the bank, from the SBA as a part of the PPP loan are, quote, necessary to maintain the ongoing operations of the applicant. Now, there's very little guidance on what the word necessary means, but the FAQ, and again, this is available on the U.S. Treasury website. You go to ustreasury.gov, and I'm going to do a screen share here in a minute to just show you what I'm talking about. But there's a red bar at the top, and you click on the link, and then you get to the FAQs. And it's very simple to use. The FAQs are a good resource. Let me go ahead and just share that screen now so that we can see and follow along as I discuss this. And I'm going to go ahead and share that. So now you're seeing my browser here as I go through. Now this is the U.S. Treasury website. Let me go on and move that back to the landing page. U.S. Department of the Treasury. The red bar here is what you want to be looking at. For small businesses seeking direct relief from COVID-19, click here. And you click here and this brings up a page, and there's a lot of really good resources, tools for borrowers, for lenders, etc. Program rules. And program rules has a lot of neat PDFs. The one that I'm talking about today is this frequently asked questions. And this brings up the PDF. Go ahead and scroll through there. And the one that I was looking at was number 31. So if you wanted to go and look at this yourself later, feel free to pull it up, number 31. But again, this is that language that I was just tracking. This current economic uncertainty makes the loan request necessary. And then there is some additional guidance here that borrowers must make this certification in good faith, taking into account their business activity, their ability to access other sources of liquidity to support the ongoing operations in a manner that is not significantly detrimental to the business. Now, they are answering this in response to a question I note up here of, do businesses owned by large companies with adequate sources of liquidity to support businesses' ongoing operations qualify for a PPP loan? So really, I think this gives some insight as to who the SBA is targeting with this FAQ. They're really addressing large businesses with a lot of liquidity that they can sustain and weather the storm themselves. I really do not believe the intent of this FAQ or of this certification is aimed at the small or mid-sized business owner who, frankly, I think everyone is taking into account their current business activity and the impact COVID-19 is having. They're probably stretched thin on other sources of liquidity. And I think it's clearly probably a good faith statement that they are in need of the funds for the ongoing operation of their business. So again, I can't look into the mind of Mr. Mnuchin or of the SBA or whoever is writing the FAQs, but based on the guidance that we are seeing on the website from the Treasury, I think that they are trying to give some clarity that borrowers who are applying do have to make this certification, but then take a step back and recognize this is sort of in the discretion of the borrower. They're making their own individual assessment, their own determination based on their own set of circumstances as to whether or not they truly need this loan, or whether or not they have some large coffers that will help them weather the storm. Again, they use that term large company in the FAQ, and I think that's really who they're directing this to. I do think most small businesses, mid-sized businesses who are weathering the storm right now in COVID are going to be able to clearly make that good faith certification that they are requesting funds in good faith to use in compliance with the statute, in compliance with the parameters of the statute, and they should be okay with regard to that certification. But again, it's really good, I think, to read that language on the SBA website. Bear that in mind when you're a business owner, when you're a borrower applying for funds, that you are making this certification, that you have made the assessment that there is great economic uncertainty right now, that this very well could adversely impact your business activities, and that these funds are going to be utilized and that they are necessary to support the ongoing operations of the business, and that there just aren't other sources of liquidity right now to do the same thing that these funds can do. So that's just a little bit of commentary on that, some guidance from the SBA. Again, feel free to check out the Treasury's website for more information. And as always, everyone, please continue to stay safe, and hopefully we will be coming out of this storm soon. And take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.